So this is going to be about uh, something about. This is going to continue from the spiritual awakening video. This is going to be probably part two, right? So this video is going to pertain more so to the people who are aware of their awakening and have been kind of going through it. So there's one difference, well, there's a major difference between just now waking up and be like, oh my God, I'm woke. I haven't seen the world like this before. This is so new. This is new and improved. This is, wow, I never knew the world was like this. That's one thing. So it's like a honeymoon stage when you're kind of like first awakening, right? So then you get to the point to where you're accepting of the things, you're accepting of shit, you're like, okay, now I'm learning how to maneuver in the new world with this newfound appreciation and with this new set of eyes, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. So you start to become experienced in it. Um, and it kind of correlates with the physical connection and the spiritual connection of things, like like your chakras, how your chakra is, there's a physical organ connected to the spiritual essence of a chakra or an energy wheel. So like as you grow through your newfound awakening, you kind of see that it kind of correlates with the seven major chakra systems. So like the root chakra is your foundation, and you'll move up the chakra system as you kind of ascend in your spirituality. And if you look at time as being linear, this time coincides with experience. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it could. So for example, someone could be born and just be fucking woke and just have all the knowledge and just go about on some old superhuman X-Man shit. It's possible, right? But for those who kind of have to go through an ascension process, which is most of us, we can kind of look at the chakras as little breadcrumbs along our paths. You know what I'm saying? As we get older or as we progress through the dimension of time and space, right? So let's just say your root chakra is all about foundation, grounding, establishing your household and how you're kind of your direction, right? If you think about it, that happens your first 7 years of your life. That's very developmental in your first 7 years of existence. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the seven chakras as having 7 years apart, roughly, generally speaking, 7 years apart before you move up in between them, you can kind of see how it kind of makes sense and kind of pan out. For those who aren't hella old, or this may be kind of weird to kind of imagine, but imagine if you will, because I have to, right? Because I'm not hella old and shit. These hairs are just from wisdom. These are just wisdom hairs. But so let's just say, so you your first 7 years you're in your root chakra. So 7 years old. 14 years old, you kind of get into your sacral chakra. This is when you kind of go into puberty and how you start to kind of start feeling a little tingle down there and get aroused when you're around the opposite attraction. You know what I'm saying? It's before that. This is a rough estimate. You know what I'm saying? 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. It depends on the person. Everybody's different. This is just, what I'm saying, a generalized rule of thumb, right? So, 21, you kind of get into who you're being and who you are. That's that solar. That's that dominance. That's that focus. You know what I'm saying? That solar chakra, that solar plexus chakra, right? 28, you start to get into the heart. You know what I'm saying? This is all corresponding with time and ascension. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Now, one thing about that heart chakra thing, though, a lot of people don't rise past that. That's like a gateway. You know what I'm saying? It's like the gateway between the three lower chakras and the three higher chakras. Main chakras. There's hella chakras all through your body, but we're talking about main, right? There's some in the front, some above you, some in the back, all kind of shit, right? So, but that heart chakra, though, a lot of people don't get past that. And that heart chakra is where you find forgiveness, where you forgive yourself, where you forgive your parents, where you forgive um, the world for being fucked up and being a prison. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get past that, so they don't really elevate to those higher chakras for the most part. And it's not most people's fault because of society or the way they were taught, the way they were trained. We're trained in those first 21 years that the world is how we're told it is. If you can snap that shit, in which most people do in their spiritual awakening, you're good. But you see, sometimes it takes people till they get to their 20s to have a spiritual awakening. Some people have spiritual awakenings when they're a teenager or when they're 7. You see what I'm saying? It depends for different people. You can open up them chakras, right? You know? You know what I'm saying? How many little kids you hear say, "Oh, mom, I forgive you," or "Oh, dad, I forgive you"? It's possible, though. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say, oh, okay. So let's just say, when you're 28, you're supposed to be in your heart chakra. That's when you're kind of like, able to understand what forgiveness means. You should be able to understand what forgiveness means and forgive if you're really paying attention of being aware. And then let's just say you're 35. Now you've been through life, and if you're a quiet person or not, you may be more vocalized in your opinion. Some people don't communicate well. Some people have a very hard time communicating, and that doesn't happen immediately. Everybody's different. Some people's chakras activate at different points in times, but we're just thinking about this in the linear fashion. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, the mundane sense of how people grow up and become wise, right? So, you're 35 and now you're speaking your mind. You're strong-minded, strong-willed. You've already forgave, da 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 da. So you speak. You won't be ran over. By the age of 42 or so, what I'm saying, you should be having wisdom, because let's just look at it like knowledge, wisdom, third eye, wisdom, crown, understanding, right? So you go knowledge, wisdom, understanding, crown, right? So look at the top 3 chakras like that, right? So you're 42, now you're into wisdom, you know what I'm saying? So now you're a little wise, you can kind of slow down, you know what I'm saying? You're a little bit more patient. This is why you see older people be more patient, you know what I'm saying? Because they're wise. They know that you don't have to run down the fucking hill. We're going to get there eventually, you know what I'm saying? So you're more wise like that. So, and then, say you're 7 more years, you're 49, you should, and there's a lot of grown ass kids. So I'm throwing up air quotes. Say you're 49 now, you have understanding. You have understanding, and you just have seen it all. You've been there, done that, and like Bobby Hemmett said, got the T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a very mundane, general way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I'm putting it in the context to where you can actually observe these things in everyday life to understand them. And everybody's different. But going through uh, an ascension process actually has its roots in the mystery schools. Because in the mystery schools, you wouldn't be able to learn certain things unless you were a certain age. And this is kind of like, the connection between, how your chakras open up just naturally, or should be opening up naturally, what I'm saying? But this is why, so, give yourself, if you're going through a spiritual awakening and you're finding out all this newfound information and finding all these newfound aspects of yourself, so that's what it's really about, finding out new aspects of yourself, because information that you get on YouTube or reading the books is just, it's just that. It's just knowledge, but it's not necessarily wisdom or understanding. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you find out new aspects about yourself, this is when you start to get into wisdom and understanding. When you find out things about yourself, and this takes time after that first initial shock of being slapped in your fucking face, wake your ass up type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, just hold on, because the ride is bumpy, but the ride is fun. It's like one of them old ass roller coasters, man. You know what I'm saying? So far, I can only speak for myself. So far, it's bumpy, it's been shaky, it's been kind of scary. There's been some hills, there's been some dives, there's been some flats, there's been some, oh, this ain't shit, there's been some curves, like, oh, shit, I'm finna fall out this motherfucker. But that's what it is. So enjoy it and embrace it, and just know that you already won, and just know that, you know what I'm saying? You're full of light, but you're also full of darkness. Don't be afraid of that darkness, because that's where the discoveries are. But once you discover, you good, and you in the light, and we gone, and we good. NewMysterySchool.com. You did.